Ready? Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. Happy Monday to everybody. They say how time flies. We've gone through this coronavirus. We've gone to wearing masks. We've gone not to seeing people in person. We've got to making phone calls. We've got new carriers. We've got CVS that just came out. Christmas in 2 weeks. So I'm going to recommend you guys to get yourself situated between now and Christmas. Hustle a little bit more because people probably are not going to want to see you on at least the 23rd. They may want to see you on the 22nd. But kind of just be prepared for the holidays. Most agents I spoke to are working between the Christmas and New Year's break to catch people at home. So decide what you want to do, what's easier for you. And remember, if you need new carriers, you need leads, you need anything, make sure you get with Jay or Heather's where we can set you up to start 2021 off fantastic. Okay, today I want to talk about drafting. What ends up happening is that agents call me when they've got chargebacks. Chargebacks is something, as we know, is part of the game. Yet, what I'm going to talk about today is many different ways that you can come across on how to share with somebody how the drafting is. The first one is, this is how the program works. Second way is, you can pick a day that you want in advance. Third way is that you can pick a date 30 days in advance for you to take your first draft. Now, whenever you sit and say pick a day 30 days in advance or pick a day of your choice next month, what you're actually doing is that you're setting yourself up for a chargeback thinking you're being nice, and the client's going to sit and say, oh, Joe, you're so nice, you let me pick my own date. And what you're doing is kind of like sabotage. The folks we deal with, I'm going to say probably 10% of them who you allow to pick a date out, the money will be there. The other 90%, the money will not be there. So you got to make choices on how you want to tackle the situation when you're visiting with somebody. This is something you're going to have to sit and practice on if you're not used to doing. Let me tell you how the program works. I'm going to go over that in a second. When you sit and tell somebody, let me allow you to pick out a date in advance, all they're thinking about is, well, my money comes in on the 3rd. I want to make sure it's in. Or they get their money on the last Wednesday of the month, and they'll sit and say, well, Joe, just make it for the 28th to make sure my money's in my account. Well, here's an SOS for everybody. When the client is supposed to get their money, the money is in their account. The 1st, the 3rd, the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th Wednesday, their money is deposited into their account. So when they sit and tell you that there, something you cannot argue about, I'm going to go over some ways for you to kind of let them know how it works so they do not want to pick a date. You're telling them how your program works. The whole purpose of this call today is to prevent chargebacks. Because the part about our job that hurts is that you get out there, you buy a lead, you visit, you finally get a hold of somebody, you make a presentation, you're sitting on the end of your seat and they say, yes, Joe, that's the one I want. And then what you've done is that you've allowed them to pick a date they want. First payment supposed to be there, it's not there. So the money that you've gotten up front, because we get advanced with almost every carrier on issue, not on draft, money's not there. So you start that next month off $500, $1,000, $1,500 in the hole. So it's constant catch up. I don't like playing catch up. I like trying to do it the better way from the beginning, which is going to allow you to have less possibilities of chargebacks. Now, when I'm visiting with somebody, I like to draw a picture of what's going to transpire. I like to go over with them the reason I sent the card in, tell me exactly what we're going to do. Here's how it goes here. Ms. Jones, thank you for sending the card in. I'm very happy you sent it in. I've been doing this now for like almost 25 years. Excuse me, 25 years. And let me share with you how the program is going to work today, what we're going to go through. I'm going to ask you some health questions, some personal questions, medication, past history. We're going to decide what program is best for you. You're going to pick out the program that's best suited for you. I don't need any money today. And you said earlier that you get your check in on the third Wednesday of the month. And the way these programs work is no money today. Next month, and that on the months thereafter, every month on the third Wednesday, the company is going to receive your money from the bank. The bank's going to send your money in at no charge. And the beauty about it is that the insurance carriers give you a discount for doing that there. They draft on the first or the third, or the second, third, fourth Wednesday, based on when your check is deposited in your account. The bank knows, Social Security knows, so everything will be set up for you to where it's like nothing for you to worry about. The event you're out of town, you don't have to worry about sending a check in. In the event something goes wrong, you know your money's deposited into your account. The bank is sending it in for you at no charge, so you have no lapse in coverage, and everything is okie dokie. Now, that usually works for me every time. If it's the first or the third, the same way. Now, to go the first and third, we've talked about this before. Let's say the first falls on a Saturday. They're going to get their money on Friday. Yet the client's going to say, you know, Joe, I want to make sure my money's there. Can you draft it like on the third of the month to make sure it's there? So what you're going to do is that you're going to say, okay, so this is what's going to happen. If the first or third falls on a Saturday or Sunday, the clients we deal with will get their money on Friday. Friday morning, there's a great possibility, like a 90% possibility, they're going to go to their banking institution or to an ATM and withdraw all their money out, minus the minimum they need to keep the account active. That's on Friday. The first is Saturday, the second is Sunday, the third is Wednesday. The bank sends in the notice on Wednesday, so their draft account will not be happening until the 4th, maybe the 5th. So you got 6 days of lag time that you're thinking, is my $86.42 premium in their checking account? Well, I'm going to say 10% of them will. 10% of them are the type of people who are the ones who keep track of exactly, who remember they started a program with you. The other 90%, that money's picked and pulled out, and now you got a chargeback. So now you got to revisit them, you got to call them, you got to go back and see them. Is that a bad thing? It sucks. Okay, it sucks. But now you got to retrack and do what you've already done. Anybody that gets their check on the first or third, the first or third falls on a Saturday or Sunday, they automatically get their check on Friday. Now, well, Joe, if they get their check on Friday and the first or third falls on a Saturday or Sunday, the bank's not going to draft till Monday or Tuesday. How do I get around that? Well, we've got carriers that I recommend you guys to start incorporating into your thought process. When we do business, we want to give the client, in our mind, the cheapest program out there, the cheapest one out there, because we feel that's going to help us make a sale. We feel there's going to be less chances of them flipping that policy to somebody else. That's what we're thinking. Nothing wrong with your thought process. Yet, if you sit back and you think, how many of your policies that you've written have actually been flipped by another agent? Sit back and think. 2, 3, 4. Okay? 2, 3, or 4, let's say. Now, what you're doing is that you're giving them the cheapest plan out there, and now you're not getting it flipped. What's happening is that the policy is not being issued, or one of the future payments are not being paid because You didn't put them on a company that does Social Security billing. Social Security billing means that they will draft the account on Friday if the first or third falls on a Saturday or Sunday. And they will draft your client's account on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday when it falls in the middle of the week. You got carriers that do that. The carriers that do not do that, this is what's going to happen to you. You can do everything perfect. You're going to make the sale. You're going to close on property. You get a nice premium. You got the commitment. Everything is fine. Saturday, Sunday is the first and third. They send the draft in on Monday. They probably won't be drafted till Tuesday. Possibility's not there. Second, third, fourth Wednesday, they send it in on the Wednesday. It's not drafted till Thursday, maybe depending on the bank, until Friday. So what you're doing is that you're committing money suicide when you're in the house talking with a client, which gave the cheapest product. Joe, this is cheap. I had to give it to them. They said they couldn't afford much. Joe, come on, don't get mad. I'm doing my job. You are. But let's do it a little bit better. If you got a carrier that will draft it on the day, that will be good for you and the client and the carrier and the beneficiaries in the event something happens unexpectedly, it's better for everybody. Let's say it costs $2. Let's say it costs $3 a month more. Is that a lot of money to some people? Yeah, I gotta say this to some people. Yet, you gotta do what's best for you and the client. Charge $3 more, the client said they can't afford it. Well, that's what the client is telling you. The client does not know you have a program out there for $10,000 for $47. If you tell them this is the least expensive program, you're going to get this, this, and this, and it is only $50 a month, that's the cheapest program out there. Now, you need to write these down. Write down these carriers that I'm going to recommend you to consider using that will help with chargebacks and you want to jump off a bridge. You got American Amicable, Royal Neighbors, Prosperity, CVS, and Transamerica. Got those 5 carriers who will draft your client on the day that it's supposed to be drafted, which is good for the client and is good for you. When it comes to you telling them, pick a day next month that you want your account drafted, I'm going to recommend you guys to erase that from your memory bank. Because you're hurting yourself when you're speaking with them. This is how the program works. First or third, second, third, fourth Wednesday, and you get a discount for that. And by the way, you also get a discount since you're not a smoker. Okay? People like to hear that word discounts. It makes them feel that you're giving them a better price when you're going to tell them what the price is going to be. Another thing I'm going to recommend you guys not to do. Spoke to an agent Wednesday evening. He said, Joe, I went to this lady's house. She was undecided what she wanted to do. She wanted the program. She didn't know how much money she wanted to spend. It was hard to close her. So he decided to pull the jack of spades out of his pocket and tells her, man, don't worry about it. We'll set it up for next month on the date you chose. And also, there's a 30-day free look. And what that means is that if the policy, when the policy is delivered, if you don't want it for whatever reason, you can send it back. I've done that before. I don't do it no more. I am not going to give them a way out. We already know numerous things. They read the card. They saw something on that card that got their interest. You do know they need it. They have no coverage, or you're adding to what they have. By you telling them you've got a 30-day free look, Pick any day you want. Pick a day 30 days in advance. What you're doing is that you're hurting yourself every time that you give those 3 options. Take a small step backwards and think about, does it pay to say this is how the program works and you get a discount? Does it pay to use the 5 carries I just mentioned to you that will prevent chargebacks and make your life a lot simpler to where you can go after new business all the time? Think about the options we discussed. Make it a great day. We love you. You need anything, call us. Be safe. Take care, guys.